Hey, so this is Bryce back at it with another video. Today I'm reading The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and I'm on one of the chapters that he talks about at the end, where he's talking about all of these successful and unsuccessful people who he's kind of studied in the past. Number six thing that he's noticed in all successful people is that they persist until successful. Um, just reading, and it's very, very, very important to have this kind of quality of persistence. Um, because oftentimes in this industry it takes about for some it can take like on your first sales call you'll get a client, but for other people it takes about some people I've heard one person said it took him 11 months to get a client, but after that he kind of scaled to the moon, and now he's doing about $50,000 to $70,000 a month coaching. I think they're wealth management advisors on how to kind of scale their business. Um, that is just such a big thing, persistent. A lot of people, they're really close to success, but you can never really tell how close you are until you just keep going until you get it, right? So some people quit a couple days before they would have been successful. Other people don't, and they just keep going. Some things that can lead to you quitting is either family or friends just saying, hey, you've been at this for a long time, maybe you should start doing something that has potential to be a little bit more sustainable or more consistent. You should get a job, right? Sometimes you have to get a job. That's not a big deal. If you need more cash flow for your business, generally for my business when I first started, the expenses were relatively low. The only thing I was spending money on was my tools. So my LinkedIn tools, my email tools, my email list builder, and LinkedIn Premium, and um, I had one other thing that was like $100 a month. So my expenses were around my business expenses when I first started around $400 a month. So that's not a lot, but for some people, like I've been speaking to some people on the phone who don't really have any money when they start, which that in itself is a problem because you really do need at least $300 a month to be able to float you for your business. That's not including your personal expenses. That's additional money for your business. Um, Generally, I like to keep about 20,000, between 15,000 and 20,000 in savings. Right now, I'm at about 17. I spent some money on some trainings to just improve my consultation skills and some training for improving my DO. So every time I get a new course, it kind of helps me teach my clients a little bit better. But yeah, that's why I'm not at 20 right now because I just spent about $3,000. Um, yeah. So the next thing that they talk about, I'm just kind of flipping through the chapters, seeking to solve problems. This is a really big one. A lot of times people start a business and they just say, I just want a life coach, right? Which that in itself is not a bad thing, but then they struggle with, okay, well, what area of life coach am I doing? Who am I helping? Who am I solving? And they never really take that into account, and they just wonder why no one ever responds to their messages, or why they're not getting any kind of traction in their DO. They may get people on the phone, but it's far and few in between. Um, that is one reason. So you have to go market first, and then look for the problem, and then decide how you're going to kind of fix that, whether or not your skill sets match, can provide the solution, or if you have to go and develop new skill sets um, to solve the problems for them. But that's not how most people do it. Most people, that's why a lot of businesses don't really work out, because either the person never thought about who they were trying to help, or they didn't have a clear enough message and the market just rejected them. So that's where I'm at right now in terms of what I'm thinking about. Next is they love challenges. So successful people love challenges. That one is kind of cool. Um, but what he was saying is that the more challenges that you kind of overcome, the more that you go after. And that's kind of why it oftentimes looks like successful people just never lose, because they're constantly going after new challenges because they just won the last one. They persisted until they're ready to go and just kept going. Another one is believe that I will figure it out. That's what it says, that you're going to figure it out. So no matter what you're doing, even if you have no idea what you're doing, you have to have that confidence that you can consistently problem solve until you are successful. when you're in business, that is your main thing. Not just problems for your clients, but also problems for yourself and your business. Um, for example, sometimes we have some of my virtual assistants sending out messages on LinkedIn, right, for my company, and then LinkedIn like says you're sending out too many for one day, or LinkedIn says, hey, you kind of have to take a break for today. So I got to figure out, okay, so how do we solve that problem? Okay, cool. We created a second LinkedIn, then a third LinkedIn, then a fourth, just so we can do this direct outreach. So if we get put in the penalty box on one, we're kind of diversified within the platform. Um, that is the big one. Another problem. Um, I had to teach one of my clients how to problem solve. That was a problem in itself because it was like, why is this person? They're able to do exactly what I tell them, but as soon as I step away, they kind of stagnate and they just basically stagnate and just get stuck, right? So I had to teach them how to learn, how to go search for the answers on Google or on YouTube or wherever. So, because I can't always be available for every little thing. Like, um, for example, she had to learn how to research her niche. I told her, okay, so you can go find Facebook groups, you can go do blank, 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 and blank, right? So what happens after the Facebook group? When you first put in the application to join the Facebook group, it takes maybe 2 to 3 days for you to get accepted. Okay, cool. So what do you do in the meantime? That's where she was kind of stuck at. So now I said, okay, cool. So now to continue your market research, you need to go look at you need to go be able to find blog posts. You need to go find out people who are doing really well in your industry, and also you need to go figure out different channels on YouTube, different channels on Facebook. How do I do that? And that is the problem in itself. So I had to teach her exactly how to think about searching stuff in Google, and that's a whole nother video, and that was a big problem. But as a business owner, you have to solve both your clients' problems and your own problems. One problem that I really had to figure out that was extremely hard, was how to get consultations to close. In my industry, there are a lot of people trying to do stuff that are similar to what I do, but since it's a very intricate kind of business and not a lot of people are good at getting results, a lot of a lot of my prospects have been burned in the past by marketers who either let them down, who either couldn't deliver what they promised, or who just didn't have any good support, right? So that's always the thing I had to come up against. And being able to build trust on the phone and being able to kind of craft my presentation in a way that both gives value and gives them urgency to want to sign up with me. That's what I work with my clients on. That's one of the modules in our program for the $500 Kickstarter course. That link is in the description below by the time the video is out. And I lost my train of thought right now because I'm in Barnes & Noble's kind of looking around, seeing if I'm disturbing anybody. Next thing that I have to see is focus on opportunity. Successful people see all situations, even problems and complaints, as opportunities. Where others see difficulty, successful individuals know that problem solved equals new products, services, customers, and probably financial success. So, for me, the fact that not a lot of people in my industry are able to get results really makes it easy for me to stand out, right? So, just the fact of me even giving customer care. So if one of my clients texts me, right, at, we'll say like 5 p.m. or we'll say 7 p.m., that's outside of my regular business hours, most cases I will respond, or I'll even jump on a phone call with them outside of our weekly phone call. I mean, when you work with me, you get a lot of my attention, just because I knew what it was like to be in that position, and that's not a very great position to be in when you're working as hard as you can, but you come up against a roadblock, and that's kind of why people sign up with me, because of the fact that you have access to me, and the fact that I actually care whether or not you do well, even if you're on one of my free programs. That's one lady, she's on a free program right now because she got burned by excuse me, my back's kind of hurting. from a larger institution, so we kind of took her on pro bono, which most marketers wouldn't do because there's nothing in it for them, at least in the beginning. But we're really we took her on about, I'd like to say, 2 weeks ago, and we're really teaching her the basics of business and how to kind of set up her coaching business. And even though she's not paying for us, we still give her about an hour and a half worth of phone contact today. Yeah, I spoke to her about an hour and a half. We have 2 weekly calls, tech support. She needs to call me for something, I help her figure it out right in the moment. And we're really excited to see her really start to get sales with her course as soon as she starts going to market. So if you're interested in learning more, or even getting a copy of my free ebook that I have, it's really good for teaching you the basics of the digital marketing and how to do it for yourself, and it gives you a blueprint of what to expect at various levels of your business. Thanks for watching this video. Please, I don't know which channel it's going to be at. Please follow me on LinkedIn. Please like my Facebook page. Please connect with me on Facebook on my personal account. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you see this on YouTube. Have a great day. This again was in Barnes & Nobles. Reading the 10X Rule, some of the traits of successful versus unsuccessful people. And thank you. Have a great day. Hopefully you like this camera. It's new. Excellent.